Good morning and welcome to the Take Your Life Back Today show. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach, life coach, and the host of this show, the Take Your Life Back Today show. I want to talk about 10 brutal signs your marriage cannot be saved. A friend of mine has got some marital issues, and I thought this might help him, and I hope he's watching and you can maybe pick up a tip or two. Does it sound familiar in anyone's case that's out there in my audience? Then it's probably time to go. When you hear any of these, one or more, it might be time to go. You never thought that you'd be one of these people, I'm sure, but it has happened. It even happened to me on my first marriage. So you were much more careful now. You're much more careful than you were back then. You worked hard to find a mate who had all the things you thought were important to you. You took marriage seriously. You dated for a long time. You were in love even. You agreed on everything that mattered most, or at least you thought you did, correct? Well, now, maybe you're not so sure. Now, you and your spouse seem to be at odds about each and everything. What's even worse, my friends, is it's not just the big things that are dividing you. It's even the small things. All those little things your spouse does that you used to think were cute are now becoming annoying or even somewhat bothering to you. You always promised yourself that when you got married, it would be forever. We all made that promise. Now you find yourself wondering whether forever will ever end. Now you're asking yourself, should I get a divorce? You don't want to give up. I know that and I get that. But you're not sure how much longer you can, go on with this. You feel so angry, but at the same time alone and empty inside, you are not sure whether these things are bad to a point where you need to get that divorce. You don't want to destroy your family or doom your kids in spending the rest of their lives in therapy because you and your wife could not find common ground. Maybe you're going through a change of life, or maybe your mate is going through a change of life. But here I have 10 things that'll help you see if you're heading for a divorce. How do you know whether you're going through a normal valley or whether your marriage is on life support? Number one is you have lost all respect for your spouse. The sheer fact that even looking at your spouse makes you feel, listen, how did I ever even marry this particular person? And that could have happened through time. Number two is your spouse no longer respects you. So the respect on both sides have been totally lost. Number three is one of you is having an affair and refuses to end it. First of all, the sheer fact that they even had an affair is grounds for divorce, for me at least. And then to even not want to end it and expect you, the victim, to continue is wrong. Number four, you fantasize about living without your spouse a lot. Once that happens, my friends, it is time for you to go. If you are happier without your spouse around you, then that gives you the red flag that you need. Number five is everything and anything you both speak about or do becomes a fight. Number six is you tear each other down with criticism, with insults, with no respect whatsoever. Number seven is your spouse is physically abusive, and that doesn't always tend to point at the man alone. There are ladies that are physically abusive towards their husbands. Majority of the time it's the husbands towards the wives, I should say. Number eight, one of you has a substance abuse problem and will not get help, and that's a huge one. Once that happens, substance abuse doesn't just affect the person that is abusing the drugs. It affects each and every person within that household, that family. Number nine, according to your spouse, everything is your fault. Always, no matter what. It could be the fault of the gardener. It could be the fault of the grocery clerk. No, it is your fault. That is a red flag. And number 10, your physical contact with him or her has become virtually non-existent, zero. Not because of any other reason other than the sheer fact that you don't respect that person and that you just don't want to be part of that person's life. So these are the 10 brutal signs of your marriage cannot be saved. Number one was you have lost all respect for your spouse. Number two is your spouse no longer respects you. Number three is one of you is having an affair and refuses to end it. Number four is to fantasize of life without your spouse. Number five is everything becomes and is a fight. Number six is you tear each other down with criticism. Number seven is your spouse is physically abusive towards you. Number eight, one One of you has a substance abuse problems, which affects not only you as the spouse, but the whole family. Number 9 is, according to your spouse, everything is your fault, always. And number 10 is your physical contact has become virtually non-existent because you're not attracted to each other. 0 whatsoever. These signs, if they sound familiar, then it's probably time for you to go. You never thought you'd be one of these people, and we all get that. Turn to God with a prayer. Ask God for guidance and direction. And let God guide and direct you on a decision what to do. It is better to walk away from an abusive marriage, from the lack of respectful marriage, from a fighting marriage, than it is to stay there and have everyone in the household affected. Remember, the children, they see what goes on. And I always talked about this. A role model is very important. If you're a man that's abusing your wife physically, verbally, what type of role model are you? You're not. What you are is a bully. And the same applies if you're a woman doing the same thing. Start today. Call me at 844-405-HELP. We can help each other take our lives back. And remember, for God so loved the world, he gave his own begotten Son. How many of you parents or grandparents would give up your children, your grandchildren for the sake of other people? Well, God did that to forgive us for all our sins. Turn to God. The power of prayer is more powerful than anything you can imagine. And remember, don't just pray to God when you have a bad time in life or a rough time in life. Pray to God each and every day. And God does answer prayers, but in his own time. So don't expect an answer right away. Be faithful. Keep praying. Ask God to guide and direct you. And always remember, God will never let you down. And call me at 844-405-HELP. We will help each other take our lives back. And please, please continue to pray. And if you're in a marriage that is spiraling out of control, seek some sort of help, therapy, mediation, but more importantly, seek God immediately, because he will guide and direct you. And take care, and may God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.